that's called Just Different. And so whether you're on the call here as a person that wants to participate as maybe a driver or somebody that heard about it and want to get the concept from a riding standpoint, or you're looking for an opportunity to expand your income potential, you have all of that in one, not only just from your personal efforts, but from how we've been able to put something together where you can leverage our system and be able to grow a business within a business in what we have with Vive Rides. And so I am from Houston, Texas, and you heard some of the background of who I am. I work directly with Mr. Holton Buggs, our founder and CEO of the company. We have been in business for over 20 years. And so as we have grown in business together, this is one of the companies that was in his portfolio and something that he had seen for many years that I knew he would eventually do. It's nothing that I've seen our CEO put his mind to that he did not accomplish and exceed the goals of what he was looking to accomplish. And I know he was talking about, he kept saying, how in the world can a company come out and mobilize millions of cars, but yet they own no cars? And we know many companies that are doing that now. He kept saying, how can companies come out and sell more rooms in hotels and yet they own no property? And we know there are companies that are doing that now. And so the technology standpoint has changed the way that the world is working. And now more than any time before, what we are offering and what I'm going to talk about, the gig economy, is very important to people around the world today. He's always looked to find a way to give solutions for people that were looking for opportunity. And for many years, for over two decades now, we've been able to provide solutions for people in different spaces. And right now, I can tell you, it will be no different here. As a matter of fact, it will be bigger than what we've ever done before. And we've had some major wins when it comes to business, working with the team of people that we've assembled. So what I want to do here, and you look at the opportunity for yourself. I want you to be able to look and see, where do you fit in this? Okay, where do you fit in this at all? I know there's a place, no matter who you are, whether you're the person that's looking to do some part-time income or a person looking to grow a financial legacy. Quite honestly, you can do that here. And so I'm not going to give any guarantees of incomes and things of that nature, but there's a place for anyone who's choosing to do business with our company of Vive Rides. I'm going to share my slides here so you can get a quick overview of what's going on and like I say, why we are so excited about our opportunity, because we know we're providing a solution here and people are definitely choosing their Vive with our company now. Now, I want to go on and say this as well. As we have begun to launch our company, we decided to launch it in a couple of different markets first. I'm going to say more of a beta testing first. But even though we're taking rides and people have been utilizing the services or whatever, we launched in Florida, we launched in Texas, and in particular in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Orlando, and Tampa. And in in Texas, Houston is almost seem like Texas, the size of Texas, whatever, but in Texas, Houston, and in Dallas. And eventually you'll see us roll this out around the United States and eventually, of course, around the world. So get ready for one of the biggest startups that ever hit the market of business today. So we want to be upfront here with our disclaimer here. And I'm very proud to say that, you know, what we put together, you choose your tune. You decide what you want to make of the business. But as a company, because there is a business opportunity and income attached to it, we can't guarantee any income. We don't guarantee, we're not doing a salary. This is your business if you choose to participate in it. And so we don't claim any guarantees of income, but what we do know is your income will be earned in direct proportion to the amount of work that you do based on the compensation plan and the payment plan that we have in our company. So it's according to how you work that would determine whether you would make this compensation plan and business plan work for you. One of the things I can tell you about our system, is no respecter of person. It doesn't care what your age is. It doesn't care what your nationality is. It doesn't care what your gender is. It only knows that if you do the work, you earn the income. And I think that's very fair as a company to be able to do so. Now, what's different about us here and what's happening in the world today? There's so much changing right now in our world. People have been losing jobs left and right. Millions of people are right now still out of work. But I have to tell you this, while it may seem doom and gloom for many, there are many companies and opportunities that are still growing and thriving today. And if you position yourself in a way that you can benefit no matter what happens in the economy, then you now have built a financial wall around your family, so you're not dependent upon what takes place based on other people making decisions for you. I can tell you right now, the world has changed right before our eyes. And when you look at it, most people go through at least 5 career changes. They're undervalued when they're working for companies, okay? They're overworked. Now people working you harder, paying you less. They're underpaid and they're aged out. You know, it's so many things that are starting to happen in the world right now. It's not the same as it used to be, where you can go and depend on a job, build it for years, and then have a good pension or some type of income coming from that company for decades after you retired. Those days are gone. And so now it's now more in the hands of what you do for yourself. And I'm not knocking having a job or whatever. By all means, if you have fortunate enough to have one, especially in these times, then great. But you always want to make sure you have something that puts the control back in your hands. And that's what we're all about. There's a new term that you've been hearing lately called the gig economy. The gig economy is even recognized by the United States government. As a matter of fact, in this recent package that they put together of money, they have put money aside for the gig workers. Well, what are the gig workers? Those are the people who are driving cars for ride shares and delivering food and doing all these different things that are out there. They call those gigs. Back in the day when we would talk about gigs, there was something that you would say playing a gig like in a band. It was a gig or a side hustle or whatever. But the gig economy is a real way of recognizing a certain group of people who are doing things and now, as I say, putting things back in their control. People right now are working smarter and they're getting more done within the gig economy. Many of the parts of the gig economy is based on an app-based system now, just like I was mentioning earlier, where it creates newer and bigger opportunities for people to participate in. And it doesn't matter who you are, you can participate in the gig economy. The thing I can tell you is this. A lot of people say, well, why do people never get ahead in the money curve? It's because of a lot of things to do with their mindset and in many cases, their association. Sometimes I tell people what you don't know, you don't know. And what you don't know can hurt you. And so I'm glad that I was enlightened as well about different things out there. And as I keep saying, it's time for you to take control. Here's something that I learned some time ago that took me from an unfortunate situation when I was looking for a way to generate income for my family. As I was always looking to be an entrepreneur, but nobody in my family ever taught me how to make big money, so I didn't know anything about this stuff. But luckily, I got around the right person and somebody introduced me to something just like I'm showing you today. And it's called the cash flow quadrants. Robert Kiyosaki put it together, and he put it together perfectly in the way that he described this. And I want you to look at this and see where you stand as we go through this short presentation, or where you may stand on the side of money. See, he talked about being an employee in the E quadrant. It said that's when you have a job. That's when you're working for someone. And as you see, millions of people are out of jobs. And so if you have no control, they had to furlough you or lay you off or things of that nature. You have little control because you're at the mercy, in many cases, of the company owners and their decisions. And then you have on that side the self-employed. And this is where people now, they step up a little bit and they may become professionals. And this could be doctors in many cases. It could be a lawyer in many cases. It can be a person who has a small business, because self-employed means that you own your own job. That means that if you're there doing the work, then your business is working. If you're driving the car, if you're delivering something, if you're doing that stuff, if you're working as a dentist on someone's mouth, then you are self-employed. And yes, you can make a ton of money in that aspect, but it's all based on your own efforts. But there's another side of the quadrant here. And this is what we're talking about business owners. This is where you step up and you begin to leverage yourself. And not only do you maybe be able to utilize your skills and talents, but now you can be able to bring on other people and you all can grow business together, and you own a system. They always say good companies are system dependent. Okay? And that's when you have the right systems in place and you can grow it even when you're not there. And so that's the leverage side of things. And the ultimate side, the ultimate place to be is where you have money working for you. This is, you know, I've always said this here, and a friend of mine told me this. I always want money should be able to go out and come back with friends. That's when you become an investor, okay? And we have many people today they just don't have money to invest. But if there's a way for you to have, and so I'm talking about investing on a large scale in many cases, but if there's a way where you can take a small layout of capital or money to get yourself in position to participate in a system, then why not, if you can put yourself, no matter who you are, from the left side of doing it all based on your own efforts to the right side of being able to create leverage and not only depend just on your own efforts. And so here's what we've been able to do. Let me break this down even further for you so I can give you an idea of what takes place here. See, on the left side of the quadrant, you have where you are actively doing the work yourself. It's called active efforts. This is what happens when you're an employee or self-employed. Like I say, nothing is wrong with that, but many people like myself, I started off in my career being an employee. I was taught to go to school, get a good job, so I can go out to school and then be able to get a good education so I can eventually find a good job. And I realized that I was only making a small fraction of the company that I was working for when I first got started. I had no control of my income at that time. And my family had become entrepreneurs, and I tried to become, looked to become an entrepreneur, and I was self-employed because I had a business that only depended upon my skills as to whether I would earn money. Spending too much time on the wrong side of the money curve can leave you in a not so good position. And many people have found themselves there. But fortunately enough, as I say, our CEO taught some things here with a team of people as to how to take the average person from one side of the quadrant to the other side. And that's where we have the passive effort, the leverage works. What happens when you become a business owner, you leverage your time and efforts. You help other people generate income. And one of the things I learned, if you help enough people get what they want, you will always be able to get what you want. That's an old phrase, an old thing that came from a person that I learned many years ago. And so the right side of the quadrant is when you're on the right side of the money curve. And eventually your goal would be, of course, to get into the investor side. Employees, you are your boss. I mean, the bosses control you and your time and your money. They tell you when you can come to work. They tell you when you can get off. They tell you how long you can go on vacation. They dictate you a whole lot. They even, based on that, it dictates where you stay, where you live, what car you drive. All of those things are dictated by being an employee from that side. Self-employed, customers control your time and money. You have to be there. You have to do the work. You are the one. It's solely dependent upon yourself. And if you think about it, just think about this. If you got sick and your income depended solely on you, what would happen with your income in many cases? Would it go away? Would it stay? In many cases, when you're self-employed, it probably would go away. But on the other side of that, a business owner, when you have, think about this. If you are able to help other people do some things for themselves, and just say your income depended on 100 people, and just say 5 of those people were sick and they couldn't work, at least 95% of your income will still be there. So now you have been able to put yourself in a position where not only are you dependent on yourself, but now you have been able to help others get what they want. And as long as you do that, you'll always be in a position to have, as I say, what you want. You control your time. You control your money. And investors, as I say, money works for you. It goes out and comes back with friends. That means you've grown a profit. And that's the ultimate position that you want to be in. So get to the B quadrant is what we're saying. Get to that B quadrant is what this opportunity is presenting itself here, where you can have now, where you can do what you really are already doing, but now make money from it. No boss, no degree, no experience necessary with what we do, but now you can play in the big business quadrant here, big business quadrant. Others work for you and with you here. And so Vibe Rides allows you to gain your control and your leverage. How many of y'all would like to have more leverage if you think about it, no matter who you are and where you are? If there's a way, there's a low way of you to get yourself positioned to benefit from this, an easy way for you to get started and a system in place, wouldn't you want to be a part of that system? That's what we're doing right now. And so we're introducing what we deem as the DRIVESHARE industry. Many people call it Rideshare, but we call it DRIVESHARE because there's many different things. You see why we say that. The timing is right for it right now. We're looking at it like Domino's and different pizza places and delivery companies that are delivering food. I'm going to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, the way we knew the world before is not coming back to what it used to be. In many ways, things are going to change right now. People are going to always want things delivered. People are always going to want food delivered and packages and things of that nature because we've been forced into a new way of thinking. Sometimes you have to have what we call a conscious interrupt. Something has to interrupt you without your knowledge or control and just change your perception about things. And that's what's happening right now today. What happened? We're looking at this industry. 98 million rideshare passengers out there today. 5.3 million drivers, and it's growing every day. Companies out there are hiring because they need to get their services or products to people in a timely fashion, and we're going to provide a solution for that with our company of Vibe Rides, and you get a chance to participate in that. I wish someone would have called me for some of the major corporations out there that are billion-dollar companies early on, and I would have been able to, knowing now what I know about them, I would have been able to participate from them. But guess what? You all are right here with me when we started Vibe Rides April 1st of 2020. We're less than a month of actively having our cars on the road. And guess what? Now we're providing. You remember I said with solutions? We are a mobility solutions company. We are a mobility solutions company. Well, what do I mean by that? Vibe Ride is moving people, so products and services. So we are positioned to move anything that needs to be transported. And you now get a chance to participate in that in multiple ways, okay, in multiple ways of how we've been able to do it. So now we're introducing the next generation of DriveShare, the next generation of DriveShare. Well, what do I mean by that? You have 3 ways to participate. You can ride with Vibe, and we're going to make sure we take care of our riders like you've never seen before. That is something that we are very good at in our career of taking care of our customers. And we're going to show you how we're going to take care of our customers because we know our customers are very important, just as our drivers and our people that work with our company. We look at it, it's a hand-in-hand thing that takes place, and we like to make sure that we treat our people with respect. You can drive, and I'm going to tell you, we're going to treat our drivers with respect. We listen to the drivers and pay attention to the drivers. I can tell you this, we can't please all the people all the time, but we're going to do our job and make sure that our riders are happy and our drivers are happy because we plan to make a dent in this market and keep this opportunity around so that you and your families can benefit for a lifetime. And then we have what we call an OverDrive system, meaning that you can leverage. Remember I was talking about the B quadrant, the business quadrant? You now can take the same opportunity and not only become self-employed by driving or benefiting from it yourself, but you can also, within the same opportunity, actually grow a business within the same company that we have. Let's talk about the riding portion. And I'm always now be able to utilize my own service when I'm looking for a DriveShare company. I can hit my button just like anywhere. I can go to Apple store, and which I did, and download the Riders app. If you're a rider, and all of us, whether you're driving or riding, always use your own product, go download the Riders app. And that way you have your Riders app and register. It's free, costs you absolutely nothing. If you're a driver, you can drive and be a part of that. But what happens is this: as a rider, why is Vive Rides just different? We can customize you can customize your ride. That's something that we said we wanted to do for our people. We wanted them to really have a an environment that they wanted. Okay, a good environment that the customer wanted. So we're paying attention to that. We also have something that's called girl power, which simply means that maybe a female driver is driving and maybe it's late, and she feels more comfortable at that time picking up female passengers. And that's more of a safety feature, and vice versa. Maybe you're riding as a lady or what have you, and you just feel a little better. It may be late, whatever, and you want to do that same thing for a driver. You want to request a female driver. We'll have that feature in place. There are rider incentives for being part of our company. We've already given vacations because of our company, our marketing company that we're associated with on Vive side. We're able to offer certain perks in the travel space to be able to participate with that. And we've already given away trips for people. As soon as this pandemic is over, these people have 18 months to use these trips. Many people are going to be ready to run across the world and enjoy themselves. And so we're giving things in preparation of where we're going. Here's a company. Looking at a rider, you can choose whether you want to talk or not. Maybe sometimes I get in the car, I don't want to have a conversation with the driver, and it's okay. And sometimes it's okay to find out where the person is from. I love meeting people, but it depends on your mood as a rider. You can go in and change how you want your conversation, how you want your temperature, what type of music do you want. And if you like classical music, if you like rock music, if you like whatever music, pop, whatever, you can do it. And so we have different things that you can do, and that makes us just different. Safety is paramount to our company. Safety, safety, safety. That's the first conversation we like to have, is safety. The girl power feature, for an example, if you choose to use it. Safety alert features that we have to alert the right people about if things are going wrong, both for drivers and for riders. Route tracking, first name use only basis to protect people's information. We're paying attention to what's needed out there. And then the rewards with the loyalty rewards and user benefits and sharing to get paid. You're able to make money from sharing opportunity and exclusive travel benefits that we're giving for participating as a rider. Those are things that are happening in our company right now. And it only gets better from here as we continue to develop ourselves and take our piece of the market share in which you now have a chance to grow with us. The next generation of DriveShare in our company is very simple. We have 3 ways of earning money from what we do. 3 ways. You can earn when you drive. You can earn when your customers ride. That means you can get the customer, and no matter who they are, you get the customer and you earn from that. And you also can earn from when others drive. You can earn from your own efforts when you drive. You can earn from other customers that ride, and you can earn from other drivers that ride. And let me break it down for you here. Here's when you drive. Remember, self-employed. You do it. Make as much money as you can. I understand that concept. I lived that for many years. This is now where you have active income based on your efforts. You now can earn when you drive up to 75% of the base fare. That means that excluding the taxes and tolls and governmental fees, we don't make a profit on that. Of course, our company can't pay on that. But on the time and the distance, you can earn up to 75%. Starts at 70. When you do over 50 rides in a calendar month, then you now are bumped immediately up to 75% earnings on every ride that you do. That's based on your own efforts. Drive as much as you want to, earn as much as you want to, and people need to do that right away. We put that system in place. Here's an example of what can happen here. Let me give you some things of the potential income potential that we have in our company. How to potentially earn $5,000 a month. And some people are saying, man, that's good money. Absolutely, that's good money for many people. I'll take it. You know, and I'll make pretty decent income. Anything over and beyond what I earn today, I'll take it. And so what happens here? If you choose to go out and build your business, let's do a hypothetical example here where maybe you're driving 20 days out of the week and you want to take 10 days off and you choose your time. It's up to you. You're self-employed. You drive when you turn that app on when you're ready to drive. You turn it off when you don't want to drive. But just say you say, hey, I want to go out and build this. And I have a game plan. I'm going to do 20 rides a day. And this is what a person can do. Let's say for an example, we have people that do a whole lot more. We have some people that do less. But in this example, you make a goal to do 20 rides per day and making $250 a day. We already know that's about $5,000. And how would that break down? See, we know the numbers of the industry. The average person driving earns on average about $13 to $15 per ride. Let's say $15 per ride. Some rides will be bigger, but just say on the average of $15 a ride. You do 17 rides per day times $15. That's $250. That means now you're doing that 20 days a week. 17 rides, I mentioned 20 rides a day. I mean 17 rides a day will allow you now to earn that $250 a day. And now you have a plan. And we have people that can do this part-time and make in potential, some people would deem as full-time income. And so those are things that we have in that based on your own efforts. But now, in addition to that, whether you're driving or not, you don't have to participate as a driver. Some people are not participating as drivers. But drivers out there who have been building in this space for some time, they would have loved to have had the opportunity over the years to not only make 75% of what I do or what they do, but I can also now potentially in the same opportunity earn from bringing on other drivers. Just think about it. If you're a driver right now, just think about this. How many people have you actually exposed the business to? Told them about an opportunity to drive in this space. They begin to drive. Maybe you got a referral fee, maybe not. But now what happens in our company, we're going to put the money back in your pocket. It's now time for you to participate in the OverDrive program. You now are able to earn what we call passive income, income coming in regardless of what you do. In other words, you can earn when others ride. You can earn when others drive. How does that work? You're now part of the big business model. And what happens now? Think about this. I have actually given my link to people as a referral for riding or doing certain things. I referred services. The company gave me an incentive for referring that person, and the incentive came back to me, whether it was cash or credits or whatever. Our company is going to allow you not to get a one-time bonus, but anytime you refer another rider, I don't care if you're a driver or just a person who just love the service. And that if you're just a rider, let me give you an example of what can happen for you on a part-time basis from referring this opportunity. In this example, imagine this is you. And you had 10 riders that you referred and said, hey, listen, you need to try Vibe so you can choose your Vibe. And you had 10 riders that downloaded the app, became a rider. I want you to remember that rider is your rider for life. And because we have an incentive program that we put in together, when your riders refer 5 other riders, we're going to give them a free ride. That's an incentive for them to do it. So now your 10 riders give away 5 rides away, or give it away where people can get started. That means you now have those 10 getting 5. That's 50 riders that you have now that have developed through you giving away the first 10 or referring the first 10. And those 50, give away 5 or tell 5 other people, and they get their free rides. Now you have an additional 250 people as riders. What happens when you look at that all together? That's a total of 310 riders from those people getting 5 new people each because they're getting their new rides. We're going to do the incentives for your people. It costs them absolutely nothing. And now you're building a business without spending any money to do so. What happens now? Just imagine if the average rider only did $50 per month in business. 50 times 310 people, that's $15,500. Our system has been developed where you now can earn 3% of every time they take a ride. In this case, $15,500, 3%. They did that in a calendar month. That's an extra $465 a month. You did nothing but referred the app to those people. Let's think about it. How many people have you referred to movies? How many people have you referred to rideshare companies? To anything that's out there? Now you get a chance to make an override on them for life. That's potentially $5,500 per year. Imagine if you put a zero on that and you got 100 riders or 1,000 riders, you can see how it can exponentially grow. If you choose to grow it, it's up to you. Here's another thing. What happens on the passive side from a driving standpoint? What if you say, hey, I don't only want to drive, or I don't want to drive, but I got people that are looking to drive. It doesn't matter whether you're a driver or not. What happens, our system will reward you for the efforts that you put out. Here's an example. Let's say you refer 10 drivers. Okay? You got 10 drivers. That's all. 10 drivers. You can get more, but let's say you had 10 drivers, and over a year, each driver did $50,000 of business over a year, each driver. In many cases, that could be low. It could be lower. It could be higher. But just say on average of $50,000 a year. That's 10 drivers times 50,000. That's $500,000 of business that was generated. But ladies and gentlemen, in addition to whatever you do, you're going to earn 3% of that. So that 500,000, you earn 3%. You just made an additional $15,000, and you had nothing to do with that. They made all of their money, but now you made an additional $15,000 outside of your own efforts. What a win-win situation. So here's what we've done. Very simple. This is the current way that things were done on the left side of this example. And I'm going to show you the difference in our 3D model. Okay? What happens in rideshare? You actively drive currently. You're delivering services. You're delivering people. Whatever you're doing right now in other companies, you're on the left side of the cash flow quadrant. You're either the employee or you're self-employed. The company pays your expenses to get started. A lot of people say, well, I want somebody to pay my expenses. In many cases, in rideshare, you're only paying for your inspection of your car and your background check, in which you have to do it because that's a safety feature. You need to know who's driving the cars. And that could be anywhere from $40 to maybe $70 max, what we've seen on average. Well, now companies currently pay for that. Okay, in many cases. Well, here's the other piece on that side. Your earnings are capped between 70 to 75%. You capped because you can't go and expand it. That may be a referral one-time bonus, but you don't get anything for the lifetime of the people you referred. And then the company itself keeps 25 to 30% of the profits and pay their shareholders. They get wealthy and you do the work. That's the current way of the system. Nothing's wrong. It's working for most people and many people who participate. We just want it to be different. We say, how can we treat our people better? How can we give them a better experience? How can we do a thing, like I said, if you help enough people get what they want, you will always have what you want. Let's share in the profits. Let's do a profit sharing type of scenario with them and let them participate in our OverDrive program and become big business owners now. Here's what happened. The customers that you get are your customers for life. The people that you enroll as drivers, those are your drivers attached to you for life. You now have tax benefits just like any business. certain things you can write off and do, from writing off your miles that you're driving to travel that you do, to restaurants that you go to. You now are in the big business. And that's why you always wonder, how do the wealthy people get over so much? It's because the business laws have been written for many of the wealthy people. Now you're practicing wealth principles, and you may not have been able to earn the type of money that they have, but now you're in position to do so with the opportunity that we're giving you today. We look at it, 70 to 75% for driving goes to you. But in addition to that, we take a 12% portion of the company and we split it in the drive share portion. So now when your riders ride, when your drivers drive, you also make money from that, not only from your own efforts, but from the team that you're putting together. And that leaves the company 18% for it to thrive. We looked at it. We said, how can the company still do well but take care of the people? Mr. Bug said, let's keep about 18%. The rest of it, give it back to the people. That's when you're with the right person at the right time. That's why we are different. Let's talk about getting started here, ladies and gentlemen. It's very simple. We made that easy for you to do. In getting started, if you want to just participate as a rider, as I mentioned, go download the app. It's free for you to do so, and get your referral code, and you're in the system. Bam, as a rider. If you want to become a driver with our company, you simply must get started by downloading the driver app. It's free for you to do so. And the person that referred you, put their referral code in, you're ready to go. And all you need to do is one time cover your, for your business, is cover your background check and your inspection. Okay? Very simple. You're ready to go. You participate in it, and you only make money from your own efforts if you choose to become a driver. If you choose to become an OverDriver and be a part of the B quadrant, it's very simple. You must choose the OverDrive program, and this is what happens for you. It's $49.95 one time to get your registration done, one-time setup fee, and it's $200 one time, so about $250 to get yourself started there. But now it comes with your inspection fee covered. It comes with your background check covered. I'm going to reimburse that for you. And now you're in business for yourself. And not only do you participate from what you can do, but you can earn money from the override program of your customers and drivers that you acquire for life. It's totally up to you as to what it is that you want to do. We just wanted to make sure we put an opportunity in place for you to choose your vibe and participate in one of the fastest growing startup companies in the world. And we're putting the money and the power back in the hands of the people. And that's you who are looking at this today. So no matter whether you want to start it on the smaller side and make some part-time income, passive income, or you want to grow a huge operation of a business within this system, it's totally up to you. And you have the power back in your hands. So with that, I'm going to say to all of our drivers, thank you who are out there working and making this happen right now. To all of the riders who are using our service, thanks for choosing your Vibe with Vibe Rides. And for all of the big business owners, let's go out there and change the world and make a difference with the opportunity that we have our hands on. So with that,